correctly, we may need some more before we can harvest it. Okay. Let's field growth. Again, it's okay. That's the lightest. That's the next lightest. Then that one. Then that one. So we're in the last stage of growth before it comes out at ready to harvest. Put this back in the shed for now. And it is 6:30. So, nice short day. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome to the stream tonight. We now need to wait until it's about 9 o'clock. Or as I found out from another YouTuber, until the light comes on in the house. We are doing good. Nice quiet day today. Unfortunately, I'm not sure my boss is going to be too happy about it being a nice quiet day, since he gave me 3 pieces of work to do and I'd already done them. ZZ Top, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? The problem is I've been working a lot of really big projects that have taken 6 months plus to do. I've been working on a pair of them, and they're both winding up at the same time, and it's a case of, oh, we need to find something else to do. Okay, we shall sleep. £9 property maintenance. That's quite ridiculous. Oh, great demand at the Spirinary. That's nice. And yeah, our fields are not ready to harvest yet. Although it looked like some of those were still updating. So we have nothing to do right now for ourselves. Oh, there are 2 big contracts for fertilizing, so I guess might as well do that, because we need to be able to stuck at the farm doing paperwork. Yeah. Well, I did used to run my own business when I lived in the UK, and unfortunately paperwork is not something you're going to get away from. Oh, I should probably check. Okay, lots of chicken food. And we are up to 55 chickens. It's okay, I guess. Go away, birdies. I like this pack. How is... okay, we're doing okay for fuel. Let's get the fuel for now. Although I do have to be careful. If I'm running plough or cultivator on this thing, I need wide wheels with weights to get enough traction. I've got the horsepower, but this tractor has a lot of issues getting the horsepower onto the ground. Yeah, I got contacted by one of our branches. Apparently the branch had been having a communication about getting their price lists updated. And some of them were like, oh yeah, we have a spreadsheet and we do that. And the manager's like, isn't that our job? Why are we getting a programmer to do our work for us? Considering how much a programmer costs compared to salespeople. I mean, salespeople earn the company money by selling stuff, and IT programmers do not make the company money directly. They make everybody else's job more efficient. And I'm going to 103, and 103 is... where is 103? Oh. Right along this road, okay. But he's sort of, why are we taking programmers away from the jobs they've been hired to do? So he had a talk to me, and he sort of, I really don't understand why we're getting you to do our work for us. So I sort of, well, because many years ago we had a programmer who just did everything she was asked to do, no questions asked. And it's been that way ever since. Now, since I came on board, I pushed back and basically said, look, it takes me half an hour to do this job, which might save you some time. But if you've got 10 items that need updating, you can do it through the menu much quicker than it takes me to do an entire spreadsheet of 10 items. So we started pushing back. Anything under 50 we're not touching. And I just found out today that technically they can do everything quicker than me, because there are menu options that let them do anything to do with pricing updates. So that was a case of, oh, well, thank you very much. So what you're saying is I don't need to get involved with any of this ever again. Yeah, pretty much so. So okay, fine, thank you. So now I have to go report back to my boss and say, you know, all this stuff we've been doing for everybody, they have options to do it themselves, and their options are much quicker than ours. So can we kick it back to them and see what he says? Because that's what our corporate trainers have been doing, is basically getting functions created that make their job easier and that they can train to. And so, and yeah, part of the problem is it's, you know, as far as my work's concerned, yeah, you've got a project, how long is it going to take you? 120 hours. Oh, okay, so we can possibly get it done by the end of the month? And it's sort of, well, we might be able to, but unfortunately the first week of every month is taken up by these pricing updates that I'm always having to do. And I pretty much can't get anything done for the first week or the last week of the month, because I'm uploading spreadsheets and updating price lists. And I think my boss gets frustrated by that, because it's sort of, okay, so we got to add at least another week. When you say it's going to take you 3 weeks of work, it's actually going to be 5 weeks of elapsed time. And they're all into the, we kind of like that to, we'd kind of not like to not have to factor that into our time management stuff, and said, well, we can't get away from it, but apparently we can. So That's going to be a thing. So with any luck, next week will be the last week. Is it next week? Yeah, next week will be the last week where I'm booked up with pricing updates. We have an option that allows people to change the expiry date on their price lists. So they can say, oh, my prices all expire on the 31st of January. I want to extend them out to the 14th of February. And that option has been around for ages. And about 2 years ago, we modified that option to say, if your pricing has already expired, you can reinstate it using that option. So we usually get, especially over the Christmas New Year period, a lot of people will call in and say, oh, my pricing expired on the 31st of December and I need it reactivated. And by this point, it's the 14th of January. Well, okay, so here's the mass update, the mass expiry date update. Go into that, enter the 31st of December last year, and select a new end date, so 31st of March this year. They run that, and all their pricing comes back magically. And that was something that constantly comes in. I let my pricing expire. You get a report 3 weeks before it happens telling you it's about to happen. You get another report 2 weeks before it's about to happen. Another one 1 week before it's about to happen. If you've ignored that report for 3 weeks, why is it my problem that you let all your prices go away? I mean, it's something I can do, but since we had this option that said, hey, extend the dates, I figured, well, while we're extending the dates, we can also reinstate pricing that people have let expire, and then it's not my problem. Now, their price list isn't going to be continuous. If your pricing expires on the 31st of December and you don't notice till the 14th of January, there's a huge gap where I don't just extend the date from the 31st of December out to the 31st of March or whatever you enter. I clone all the records that expired on the 31st of December and make them start on the 14th of January when you told them to. Because the other problem we get is, why is this price wrong? Well, because somebody let the pricing expire. And if I extended the date from the 31st of December to the 31st of March, then there would be no gap in the price list to say, well, because somebody... And it would take us a lot longer to investigate why this price is wrong. But we leave the gap there intentionally, so I can just say, because there was no pricing on that date. Wow, all those fields have updated. Sorry, let's do the thing we're doing. And there was another one in the next field over. Okay, what binged? Okay, that was not an important bing. Well, there was one company which I worked for which was incredibly frustrating. They had this application that it was basically a form letter designer which tied in with our mainframe that you could write programs that would extract data for you, and then a mail merger which would take the extracted data and insert it into the documents that you designed. And the documents could have data points, so you could have a data point for the address, a data point for the name, a data point for amount payable, whatever, dates, everything. And you could have conditional statements on the document, so if a flag in the extract is yes, then print this paragraph, otherwise don't. And we were subservicing one corporation, which basically said, we're perfectly happy to pay IT programmer rates to design our documents. And we designed 40 documents for them in 1 month. And did the data extracts for each of them, and then got them testing it. And everybody was happy. Now, the parent corporation was also using the same application, and they didn't want, they said, oh, we can do the documents far cheaper than IT can. Okay. Now, the document writer was very complex, and as a programmer, it wasn't something that I would normally work with, but it was something I understood because it was effectively a visual programming language. And they said, no, we're going to get our data entry clerks to design all the forms, and they'll tell you what data they need, and all you have to do is write the extract and let them test it. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And so they designed the form. They gave me access to the form. I wrote the data extract. I would run it, and it would all work. So okay, fine, everything's signed off. And they'd come to me 2 days later and say, we've tinkered with the form, you need to change the data extract. Okay, fine. Now, after 4 weeks of this, they hadn't got one form letter produced in production. And they were still tinkering with everything. And it's sort of, look, it works. Once it works, you don't tinker with it. And it wasn't that the document was producing anything bad on it. It was saying what they needed to say. Everything was fine. It was all laid out good. But, and when they came back to me, we're into the 2nd month, and they still haven't put into production one document. And yet the subsidiary company, we had 40 documents in production for 3 months by that point. And I told my boss, this is stupid. And they said, well, an IT programmer costs more than a data entry clerk, so it's cheaper for them to do it. I said, it's not cheaper. I might be 4 times more expensive, but I can get 10 times as much work done in 1 month as they can. And they haven't got anything in production, and they've been going 2-3 months now. That's not cheaper. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, fair enough if you think it is. So I got very frustrated with them. They fired me. They basically set, there was a problem of personalities that was, let's say, racially motivated. And so they just set me up to fail, and were just looking for an excuse to get rid of me. So, but I was happy enough to get out of there. And I think within about 12 months the company didn't exist anymore. Because not only couldn't they do math to figure out what the cheapest way to do something was, the stuff they were doing to make money was a little bit illegal. Oh, there we go. That one's done. 26. So 2 and 8. I don't think I'm going to be inclined to do any of those. 138 is probably near the bottom. That's just down the road. Okay, we'll do 138 because it's just down the road. It doesn't pay much, but we're loaded. Where's the road? I don't have a front loader on this, so I have no idea what USB device just failed. So this looks like sunflowers ready to harvest. So yeah, that's my woes on work so far this week. Not that we've been going long this week, I guess. It's only one day. So hopefully, I think I got one project in last week on Friday. And 3 users have been authorized to it. So, oh, now this is going to be tricky. So that's not my problem right now. And then I've got another one that needs to go in this week, and I think that one's going in for everybody. So I just have to install it and we're good. Done. Which kind of makes me happy. I hate it when the business says, yeah, we want to put this into production, but we only want a few people to use it until we're happy it works. And so, well, I'm not supposed to put it into production until it works, until you say you're happy it works. And the problem is if it goes into production but only a few people have access to it, then it's still in development and chances are there's going to be further changes to it, so I can't sign off on it and say this project's done. Yeah, it's all finished, give me something new. It's sort of, this project's done but it's not finished, so I need something to do, but I'm not necessarily going to be able to devote all my time to the new. Which of course messes up the time management thing again, because it's sort of, what percentage of your time do you think you can devote to the new thing? I don't know, because I don't know what they're going to ask me to change in the thing that they say is finished but isn't. Well, they say they want in production but isn't finished. So, all sorts of awkward stuff. So we fed the chickens and we fertilised 3 fields. We're up to 150,000 almost. And we do have the potential, again tomorrow, late summer day 8. I'm not sure how much more fertilisation we're going to be able to do. These crops are getting too deep. Plus I think we're getting to a point where a lot of the fields are fully fertilised. We've done so many of these contracts. We're up to 50. 100 for the achievement. So I'm halfway there already. That's one of the reasons I'm kicking time up a bit, because we've pretty much done contracts all summer, fertilising contracts all summer. I could do with something different, but it has raised enough money for a harvester, header, and some form of wagon, grain cart. Not that we can really have a big grain cart, because this tractor won't haul it. I might have to put the weight tyres with weights back on. And then see where we go from there. We're also going to have to find somewhere to sell stuff. Yay! I'm fairly certain one of the fields is wheat, so that will be good for chicken food. We'll still sell most of it, but we'll keep some on hand for chicken food. And I think we also have canola and oats. Not gonna create straw swaths because I don't have balers, I don't have a bale trailer, I don't have a front loader, I don't have need for straw, so it's going to cost me more to buy straw handling equipment than I would make from selling it. Okay, let's zoom in and see how we did. We did quite well there. I think I'll drop that off for now. I'll turn the engine off. And, we have egg boxes. 150 eggs and 21. So that one's full. Suppose we could go and take the eggs to the store. We still have 837 food, the 5,400 annually. We now have 57 chickens. So woohoo. I could probably sell some of the heavier male chickens. I think we have to go to that screen, yes. So 2.3 pounds. It's worth $2. Yeah. Those are the roosters. They're valuable. So chicken's worth $4 is about. I'm guessing the £4 ones are the ones we bought as initial. So we've got some chickens at 3, some at 0. Okay, so not going to sell any chickens right now. Chicken prices, that's there. And Okay, best time to sell chickens is spring. Early summer. Late spring, early summer. So we're not really going to want to sell our chickens right now. Hopefully they'll survive until summer. But for now, they'll be happy. Oh, it's 9:15. Is the light on? Light is on. Still only £9 property maintenance. Yay, yay, yay. And it's 8:30 in the morning. Lands. Okay, still not ready. Ugh. Contracts. Field 91. What I'm going to do, I'm going to check store prices for a harvester. 89,000. Oh, that's a sunflower header. That's okay. 89, 90, 110. Then we want a tipper. That's going to be too heavy. I hate these types of trailers, but that might be the one I should get. That's 8,500. That one, 12. So we have enough money to do everything that we want to do now. Let's accelerate time. I could do more work, but frankly, we'll let it sit for now. Where do eggs sell?